Amazon, Google, Apple, Samsung. The biggest names in tech, unlimited budgets, the smartest engineers money can buy. And somehow, they all managed to create smart home devices so fundamentally flawed that they're now collecting dust in landfills across America. This isn't about products that aged poorly. This is about products that were dead on arrival and took your money with them. Let's explore 10 smart home devices from companies you know and trust that turned out to be complete garbage. If you want to see which devices cost people the most money, make sure you're subscribed because we're counting down to the biggest failure at the end. Number 10, Amazon Echo Tap, the speaker that defeated its own purpose. Picture this, it's 2016. Amazon's crushing it with the Echo. Alexa's becoming a household name. Voice control is the future. Everyone's excited. So Amazon decides to make a portable version. Brilliant idea, right? Wrong. The Echo Tap required you to physically tap a button before speaking to Alexa. Let that sink in. A voice-activated speaker that wasn't voice-activated. You had to walk over to it and press a button. You know what else requires you to press a button? Every speaker ever made since 1950. Amazon marketed this as a feature. Take Alexa anywhere, they said. Except you couldn't actually use Alexa hands-free, which was literally the entire point of Alexa existing in the first place. It's like buying a self-driving car that requires you to steer. It's like ordering a pizza that arrives uncooked. It's like buying a smart home device that makes you dumber for owning it. The Echo Tap launched at $130. By 2018, Amazon quietly discontinued it. They didn't even announce it. They just stopped making them and hoped nobody would notice. The product lasted 2 years. 2 years of people buying a portable Alexa speaker that required them to physically interact with it like some kind of caveman. The lesson? If your smart device requires manual operation to do the thing it's supposed to do automatically, you've failed. Completely. Utterly. Without question. Number 9. Google Nexus Player. Google's forgotten streaming box. Before Google had Chromecast Ultra, before they had the various iterations of streaming devices that actually worked, they had the Nexus Player. Launched in 2014 as Google's first Android TV device. Dead by May 2016. Support ended in 2018, turning every unit into an expensive coaster. Here's what killed it. Google released the Nexus Player to compete with Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Except it couldn't compete. It was slower. It had fewer apps. It cost more. And Google was simultaneously selling Chromecast for half the price that did 80% of what the Nexus Player did. Google literally competed against themselves and lost. They created a product nobody asked for, priced it higher than their own better product, and then acted surprised when nobody bought it. The Nexus Player sold so poorly that Google doesn't even acknowledge it existed anymore. Try finding it on their website. It's been memory hold. But here's the real kick in the teeth. If you were one of the few people who actually bought a Nexus Player, it stopped working entirely when support ended. No updates, no security patches, no app compatibility. Just a $100 brick sitting under your TV, reminding you that Google doesn't care about you. Number 8. Samsung SmartThings Hub V3. When your smart home forgets, it's smart. SmartThings was supposed to be the hub that connected everything. Zigbee, Z-Wave, Wi-Fi, all your smart home devices talking to each other through one central brain. Samsung bought SmartThings in 2014 for $200 million. They had the resources. They had the technology. They had the market position. And they absolutely botched it. The SmartThings Hub V3 became infamous for randomly forgetting devices existed. You'd wake up and half your smart home would be gone. Not broken, just gone. Disappeared from the app like they never existed. You'd have to repair everything, reset everything. reconfigure every automation you'd spent hours setting up. Then, Samsung started doing back-end updates that accidentally deleted user accounts. Not just settings, entire accounts. Years of configurations, automations, device pairings, all gone. And Samsung's response? Sorry, we're working on it. No compensation, no real fix, just working on it. They promised a Matter bridge to make the hub compatible with the new smart home standard. Never delivered. They promised improved routine features. Never delivered. They promised stability. Definitely never delivered that. By 2024, Samsung had effectively abandoned the platform. They're still selling the hubs, which is almost worse. They're taking people's money for a product they've given up on. The SmartThings Hub V3 isn't just a failed product. It's a betrayal of everyone who trusted Samsung to be the foundation of their smart home. Number 7. Google Nest X Yale Lock. The smart lock Google forgot about. Google bought Nest for $3.2 billion in 2014. Nest was the golden child of smart home devices. The thermostat that actually worked. The smoke detector people wanted. The cameras that didn't suck. Google was going to take Nest and dominate the entire smart home market. Then they released the Nest X Yale lock in 2018, a smart lock that integrated with the Nest ecosystem. Keyless entry, remote access, temporary codes for guests, everything you'd want in a smart lock. And it worked. It actually worked pretty well. So naturally, Google killed it. No warning, no explanation, just discontinued. If you bought one, good luck getting support. Good luck getting firmware updates. Good luck integrating it with anything else, because Google decided the smart lock market wasn't worth their time. Here's what's infuriating. Google didn't replace it with something better. They didn't pivot to a new strategy. They just abandoned everyone who bought into their ecosystem. You trusted Google with your home security, and they walked away. The Nest X Yale lock cost $280. That's not impulse buy money. That's I'm investing in my smart home money. And Google treated it like a failed experiment they could just shut down whenever they felt like it. This is the problem with big tech smart home devices. They're not building products. They're running experiments. And when the experiment doesn't meet their growth targets, they pull the plug and leave you holding a $280 paperweight attached to your front door. Number 6. Apple HomeKit original architecture. When Apple abandoned millions of users. February 10th, 2026. Today, right now. Apple officially discontinued the original HomeKit architecture. If you didn't upgrade to the new system, you lost everything. All your smart home controls, all your automations, all your accessory connections. Gone. Apple gave users warning, sure. But here's the thing. Some people couldn't upgrade. Older iPads and iPhones couldn't run the new architecture. So if you had a perfectly functional iPad controlling your smart home, Apple just told you to buy new hardware or lose everything. This is Apple, the company worth $3 trillion, the company that prides itself on ecosystem lock-in, the company that makes products that just work. And they couldn't maintain backward compatibility for their own smart home platform. Millions of people built their smart homes around HomeKit because Apple promised security, privacy, and reliability. And Apple delivered on that promise right up until they decided it was too expensive to maintain legacy support. Then they just flipped the switch and walked away. The original HomeKit launched in 2014. 12 years. That's how long Apple supported it before deciding your investment in their ecosystem didn't matter anymore. 12 years sounds like a long time until you realize you're talking about the infrastructure of someone's home. People don't replace their light switches every 12 years. They don't rewire their houses every 12 years. But Apple expects you to replace your entire smart home control system every 12 years or lose access. This isn't a product failure. This is a philosophy failure. Apple fundamentally doesn't understand that smart home devices aren't iPhones. You can't just obsolete them every few years and expect people to keep trusting you. Number 5. Google Nest Hub apps. The smart display that got dumber. The Google Nest Hub launched as a smart display that could do everything. Calendar integration, Netflix, YouTube, video calls through Duo, podcasts. It was a central hub for your digital life sitting on your kitchen counter. By 2026, most of those apps are gone. Calendar, discontinued. Duo, shut down and replaced with Google Meet, which doesn't work the same way. Netflix, removed. Podcasts, gone. YouTube, still there, but half the features are missing. Google turned the Nest Hub into an expensive photo frame with a timer function. That's it. You paid $100 to $230, depending on the model, for a device that now does less than a $20 digital photo frame from Walmart. Here's what makes this especially insulting. The hardware still works. The screen is fine. The speakers are fine. The processor can handle the apps. Google just decided to remove functionality through software updates. They made your device worse on purpose. This is the Google playbook. Launch a product with tons of features. Get people to buy it. Then slowly strip away features until the product is barely functional. Then discontinue it and launch a new product that does what the old product used to do. And they expect you to pay for it again. The Nest Hub isn't a failed product. It's a bait and switch. Google baited you with a feature-rich smart display and switched it to a glorified alarm clock. Number 4. Nest Learning. Thermostat. Generation 1 and 2. Planned obsolescence at its finest. The Nest Learning thermostat was revolutionary when it launched in 2011. A thermostat that learned your schedule. That adjusted automatically. That saved energy and money. It was beautiful. It was functional. It was everything a smart home device should be. October 25th, 2025. Google flipped the switch. Every Gen 1 and Gen 2 Nest thermostat lost cloud connectivity. No more app control. No more scheduling. No more learning. No more smart features. Just a basic manual thermostat that cost $250 when you bought it. 14 years. That's how long these thermostats lasted before Google decided they were too old to support. 14 years sounds reasonable until you remember that a regular thermostat lasts 30 to 40 years. Your grandfather's thermostat from 1985 still works. Your Nest thermostat from 2011 is a paperweight. Google didn't offer a trade-in program. They didn't offer a discount on new models. They just said, buy a new one or deal with it. And the new ones cost $280. So if you bought a Gen 1 Nest in 2011 for $250 and a Gen 4 in 2025 for $280, you've spent $530 on thermostats in 14 years. You could have bought a regular thermostat for $50 that would still be working in 2050. This is planned obsolescence, disguised as innovation. Google built an expiration date into a device that controls your home's temperature. They created artificial scarcity of support to force upgrades, and they did it to one of the most beloved smart home devices ever made. The Nest thermostat didn't fail because it was a bad product. It failed because Google decided it wasn't profitable enough to support anymore. Number 3. Google Nest Protect. The smoke detector nobody trusts. Google bought Nest. Nest made the Nest Protect smoke and carbon monoxide detector. It was smart. It was connected. It told you what was wrong instead of just beeping. It could be silenced from your phone. It was genuinely innovative. Then Google discontinued it. No announcement, no replacement. Just quietly stopped making them and stopped updating them. If you have a Nest Protect, it still works as a basic smoke detector. But all the smart features, dead or dying. No more updates, no more improvements, no more support. Here's the problem. This is a safety device. This isn't a speaker or a streaming box. This is the thing that's supposed to wake you up when your house is on fire. And Google treated it like a failed experiment they could just walk away from. The Nest Protect cost $120. You were supposed to buy multiple units for full home coverage. So people spent $500, $600, $700 outfitting their entire house with Nest Protects because Google convinced them it was the future of home safety. And Google abandoned them. No other product on this list is as morally bankrupt as this one. You can argue that speakers and streaming boxes are luxury items. You can argue that thermostats and locks are convenience items. But smoke detectors? That's safety. That's life and death. And Google discontinued it like it was a canceled TV show. The Nest Protect didn't fail. Google failed the Nest Protect, and they failed everyone who trusted them with their family's safety. Number 2, Logitech Harmony Hub and Remotes. The best product they killed for no reason. The Logitech Harmony remote was the gold standard for universal remotes. It controlled everything. Your TV, your cable box, your sound system, your streaming devices, your smart lights, your thermostat. One remote, one app. Everything worked together. It was perfect. It was beloved. It had a massive loyal user base. And Logitech killed it. April 2021. Logitech discontinued the entire Harmony line. No replacement. No successor. Just gone. They stopped making them. They stopped selling them. And in May 2025, they ended software support. You can't reprogram your Harmony remote anymore. If you get a new TV or a new sound system, your Harmony remote can't learn it. It's stuck with whatever devices you had programmed when support ended. Why did Logitech kill it? Nobody knows. They never gave a real explanation. The products were selling, the reviews were great, the community was active. Logitech just decided they didn't want to be in the universal remote business anymore. This created a massive gap in the smart home market. There is no good replacement for the Harmony remote. Nothing else does what it did. Nothing else integrates as well. Logitech had a monopoly on a product category, and they just walked away from it. The Harmony Hub cost $100. The Harmony Elite remote cost $350. People invested serious money into these devices because they were the best. And Logitech repaid that loyalty by abandoning the entire product line and leaving users with no upgrade path. This is the most frustrating entry on this list because the Harmony remote didn't fail. It succeeded. It was exactly what people wanted. And Logitech killed it anyway. Number 1. Amazon Echo Look. The $200 camera that judged your outfit. This is it. The dumbest smart home device from a major brand that nobody wanted. The Amazon Echo Look. Launched in 2017 for $200. It was a camera with Alexa built in that you put in your bedroom or closet, and it took pictures of your outfits. And then AI judged whether you looked good or not. Let me say that again. Amazon wanted you to pay $200 for a camera in your bedroom that told you if your clothes matched. The Echo Look had a feature called Style Check. You'd take 2 photos of different outfits, and the AI would tell you which one looked better. Except the AI was terrible. It would tell you a suit looked worse than sweatpants. It would tell you a dress looked worse than pajamas. It had no concept of context, occasion, or personal style. But the real problem wasn't that the AI was bad. The real problem was that nobody wanted this in the first place. Nobody woke up and thought, you know what my life is missing? A $200 Amazon camera in my bedroom judging my fashion choices. Amazon marketed this to fashion-conscious people. You know who fashion-conscious people trust for fashion advice? Not Amazon. Not an algorithm. Not a camera that looks like a security device mounted in their closet. The Echo Look was so unpopular that Amazon slashed the price from $200 to $50 just to get rid of inventory. And even at $50, people didn't want it. July 2020, Amazon discontinued it entirely. 3 years. That's how long the Echo Look lasted before Amazon admitted defeat. Here's the kicker. Amazon moved the style check feature to the Echo Show, so you can still get AI fashion advice. You just don't need a dedicated $200 camera for it anymore, which means Amazon knew the Echo Look was pointless even while they were selling it. The Echo Look represents everything wrong with big tech smart home devices. It's a solution to a problem that doesn't exist. It's overpriced. It's creepy. It's poorly executed. And it was abandoned the moment it didn't meet sales targets. Amazon had unlimited resources. They had the best engineers in the world. They had access to customer data showing exactly what people wanted, and they still managed to create a product so fundamentally stupid that it became a punchline. The pattern is clear. Big tech doesn't make smart home devices for you. They make them for themselves. They're experiments. They're data collection tools. They're ways to lock you into ecosystems. And the moment they stop being profitable or strategically useful, they get discontinued. No warning, no apology, no compensation. You're not buying a product. You're renting access to a service that can be revoked at any time. And big tech has proven over and over that they will revoke it, without hesitation, without remorse. The smart home revolution promised convenience, efficiency, and control. What we got was planned obsolescence, abandoned products, and expensive paperweights. We trusted Amazon, Google, Apple, Samsung, and Logitech to build the foundation of our connected homes. And they betrayed that trust repeatedly. These 10 devices aren't just failures. They're warnings. They're proof that big tech will always prioritize profit over people. They'll always choose short-term gains over long-term support. They'll always abandon you the moment it's convenient for them. So the next time you're tempted to buy a smart home device from a major brand, remember the Echo Look. Remember the Nest thermostat. Remember the Harmony remote. Remember that the company selling you that device has already proven they'll kill it the moment it stops making them money. The future of smart home devices isn't smarter. It's just more disposable. Want to see more tech that promised everything and delivered nothing? Check out this video where we break down the biggest tech failures of the last decade. And if you're still buying smart home devices after watching this, at least subscribe so you'll know when the next one gets discontinued. See you in the next one.